Harold Branch, often go by HB, Coach HB. So it's a pleasure. And who am I? I am an artist, I'm a poet, I'm a father. Originally from the Chicagoland area, but also grew up, half grew up right in my later teens in the state of Arizona. I'm in Phoenix right now. And when it comes to this topic and why Mr. Dunbar, Robert, and myself decided to join forces and even put an organization together called Life and Business GPS, is because we understand that if so many of us have goals, so many of us have things we want to get done in a location where we want our life, we see our life, we want our life in a particular way. And of course, that dream could get beat down over time. That dream can be deferred, if you will, to quote the great Langston Hughes. So Life and Business, what we understood was there's a lot of coaches, there's a lot of programs, there's a lot of people out here trying to be of help and assist as we move forward. One of the things that's unique is that Mr. Dunbar is a master business coach. He's a master business coach. He's owned every kind of business you can imagine, and he has helped people go from zero to great financial security. And that's incredible. And you need that business coach. But I am a life performance coach, right? I have my bachelor's in communication, my master's in psychology with an emphasis in coaching, my doctorate, which is finishing, I'm in my last year of, is in performance psychology, helping people perform at their optimal level when the stakes are high, when you don't have the option of saying no, not right now. When on call, you have to be able to pull that great performance, whether that is on the field, on the court, whether that is at your job, in your business, or in your personal life, right? Being able to take care of those personal matters. I've been coaching for over 20 years now, and just excited to do so. So got a ton of information that we just look forward to bringing to the people. This is a course. This is an 8-week class. And our first one is an 8-week class on procrastination, and not just about understanding what it is, but understanding what it is and being able to work through it. The GPS stands for goals, process, success. There is a process. Identify those goals, work through that process with guidance, with coaching, with help, right? Doing something that you haven't done with information that you don't necessarily have right now. Can't fix a problem in the same place you were when you created it. And then success. Reaching success and maintaining it is very different. And it takes a different set of skills in order to do so. You know, it's a new year, and so many are making new commitments, which I understand. I do as well. It's a phenomenal marker for us psychologically to go ahead and say, all right, this year is going to be different. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to assume that this year will be different without the guidance of how to make it different, that can slide into a delusion. Right? That can slide into delusion, because we don't all have the techniques, the skills, the knowledge, and the wisdom of how to make it happen. Because if we did, we will probably already be doing it. You know, I know many of us say, and I've said it myself, that, hey, I know what to do, I just got to do it. I know what to do, I just got to do it. Well, just got to do it, that piece right there, that's a whole train. That's a whole thing in and of itself. That's a whole understanding. If you know what to do, why aren't we doing it? What's your intrinsic motivation versus your extrinsic motivation, right? What's holding you back? Do you have imposter syndrome? What's happening there? So being able to study and couple psychology with the coaching is such a major benefit to what we have going on. I even serve as I lead and direct a team of behavioral coaches that work with people in the most intense situations that you can imagine, to help them be able to just operate functionally on a day-to-day basis and be productive members of society. So we're talking about really extreme scenarios and cases. And if these techniques work there, why wouldn't they work to help you, an individual that's already functioning, probably already massively successful, but ready to take it to that next level, ready to really turn that heat up. So welcome to 2023. Let's make some magic happen and let's get some things done, fam.
So we're looking at the same book, but we want to apply the lessons in that book to where we're at in our personal life. And I think that that's what the worksheets will allow us to do, because we can't change the book content. We don't know every single person's behavior that's on that Zoom, right, part of the book club. But what we can do is allow you to personalize the book's lessons by giving you worksheets that allow you to put things on a worksheet that apply to you, so that you can challenge yourself and get better in the space that that book wants you to get better in. And that's what I think makes what we're doing different and allows it to cater to the audience so that they can make their development personal.
You know, a lot of folks, and I've felt this way for years and years and years, because I observed things I didn't always like. It's nothing like being around someone who preaches personal development. They brag about every book that they've ever read and all the things they're doing and the money they spend on seminars. But when we go to a restaurant, they're rude to the server, right? For no reason. They don't know how, they're mean to people. They have no patience if something is taking a little bit too long to get started and things of that nature. I thought you were personally developed, right? I thought you were this guru when it came to your own energies. And what I realized in that moment is that some people, they read personal development, they watch personal development, they listen to personal development, they even participate in personal development events, but they don't do personal development. And that's different. Some of us want to look personally developed, and some of us want to be personally developed. And that's that take it personal space. Personal development, so much of it is just develop. It's not personal. It's not digested, it's not absorbed. And sometimes we don't even know that's what we're doing because we're just caught in the cycle of it. We're in a rhythm of it where it's become a habit to turn the book on in the car, but really not listening and really not putting it into action, even if we can recite it word for word. But how have you demonstrated it? The 8 weeks that we're committing instead of 2, 4, or 6 weeks, that is an ample amount of time for us to really dig in. And you know, I got a habit of getting in your business, right? Brother Dunbar, you didn't see it. They be like, oh Lord, get out my person, get out my life. And it's not that they told me, but it's because so much affects so many people in different ways. And we understand the nuances of the challenge, the nuances of the issues that would provide that extra perspective, that unique perspective from the outside that connects with what you already know on the inside. And it's that connection that makes it real. We don't want to just read a book, right? We don't want to just, so is it, we are going to have a book, but it's a course, a program that's going to be centered around a particular personal development book. But we don't want to just read the book. We've probably read it before. We want to master it. And this is with the goal of mastery so that we can move on to the next book and the next book and continue to build. We want every book to turn into a reference book, just like a dictionary, a reference book, because you got it. You absolutely got it. So, sir, hey, I'm excited. I'm hyped. That's where I'm at. And can't wait to give way more information than people expect, way more value than anyone shows up hoping that they get. And that is what is going to make us different. That's why we stand out. And that's why we're going to help thousands of people, tens of thousands of people in the long run with our programs.
Absolutely. And you're keeping up with those tweetables. You are, because those are the things that those nugget dropping, like, because that's the transformation point for the person that's playing the devil's advocate. I still don't understand why I should be in y'all's book club, because the book should be a reference point. After you've read a book 2 or 3 times, you should be able to refer to it, not have to read it again. I've read that book 10 times, but you're still procrastinating.
Yeah.
And if I could reduce the amount of books that I've read in my life, right? I don't know how many books I've read, I didn't count. But let's hypothetically say I've read 500 for the sake of this conversation. If I could go back and say, I've only read, if I could cut half of those books away and just do 250, but really understood how to apply those to my life, I would be in a better place. To not have read those other ones, but really took the lessons out of the ones that I've read and applied them.
Right.
And I think that that's what we're bringing to the table, is to say, you read Eat That Frog, but when I say to you 21 ways to stop procrastinating, you're like, huh? But that's the subtitle of the book. So you didn't get the 21 lessons. You just read the book and figured, I read something on stop procrastinating. But we need you to be able to say, when something happens, this is my reference point. Like I've done, because I've worked the print deal with you. Now it's no longer, oh, I know my print. Because they go, oh, I've got my print. Well, guess what happens when I'm in a mood I shouldn't be in?
Right.
I look at my chart to see, how do I feel? And then I say, what could have triggered me? Now I understand what triggered me, why I feel this way. Now let me get out this mood because I'm in control.
Yes, sir.
That's me using my print as a reference. And we want everybody to say, man, I'm really procrastinating on this project here. Let me look at why I'm procrastinating. Let me do an exercise that I learned during the book club so I don't procrastinate, and then move forward on it. And now you gain so much more time back because you identified it as a challenge and you use that book as a reference point to solve that problem, as opposed to just being able to say out loud, I read that book. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So I think that we are going to help, like you said, thousands with this.
This is important. That's all. This is important. And the goal of any coach should be to position you to coach yourself eventually, so that we're supposed to work ourselves out of a job. And I look forward to helping that become a reality, and for Brother Dunbar and Life and Business GPS to be in a value in your life in many, many, many different ways. We need to see you succeed as bad as you want to succeed. And let's find the reasons to make that a reality. Let's get it done, brother. Thank you.